After a long silence, Marium's Soulslike weaponry has finally received a significant update, bringing us a plethora of new weapons. We can now wield the Dark Moon Greatsword from Elden Ring. This sword applies permafrost post-hit to mobs hit. You can use the ability keybind to give yourself the Frost Moon effect. While under the Frost Moon effect, you can use the blade to shoot out moonlight projectiles that apply permafrost. Additionally, the Frost Moon effect makes you immune to permafrost, freezing, and powdered snow. The second weapon is the Glaive of Hodir. Attacking mobs grants stacks of the Blade Dance effect. At 5 stacks of Blade Dance, you gain resistance and absorption with a 10-second cooldown. Additionally, use the glaive to throw out a spectral glaive that passes through blocks and mobs. We've also added Moonveil from Elden Ring. Naturally, we can use its iconic Moonlight Slash to shoot out a wide horizontal moonlight wave, or a vertical wave if crouching. Excalibur has been added as well. This weapon turns 30% of damage taken into damage to the stack instead. You can use it to shoot a sonic boom towards your last target hit if within a 40 blocks range. Upon taking lethal damage and while holding the sword, there is a 30% chance to negate all damage and cause an explosion instead, knocking back enemies. The last weapon is Simon's Bowblade, a trick weapon that switches between a bow and blade form. Both forms deal increased damage against undead. Finally, there's a significant update to the Fallen Icon boss model. This update changed the model of the Fallen Icon, gave it a changing texture based on the phase, and made some of the animations smoother. In the first phase, the Fallen Icon's attacks remain unchanged, still using ground smashes and other regular attacks. The major changes occur in the second phase, where it now uses Heavy Swing, charging up a heavy attack that shoots a large horizontal moonlight projectile. Another move is the Archimedean Spiral, where the boss charges up a heavy ground slam that then causes ruptures outwards in multiple Archimedean spiral patterns. Anyway, this update brought a lot of content, and the video only showcased some of the main features. To experience the full content, remember to update the mod promptly for a complete experience. Well, it looks like some strange snow golems are appearing on the snowfields ahead. Frosty is a horror mod that adds some sinister snow golems to Minecraft. Now, as we wander through the snowy plains, these hostile snow golems will pelt us with snowballs, but they are quite fragile and can be easily dispatched. However, when we kill the 6th snow golem, something interesting happens. When 6 evil snow golems are killed, Frosty will spawn. Frosty has 6 tentacles, and if we observe it when it's still, we might mistake it for a spider. Frosty will chase after the player, causing a darkness effect. If we get too far from it, this can make it difficult to see the distance between us and add a more terrifying atmosphere. When close, Frosty excels with 5 types of attacks. The most basic are close-range attacks, like slash attacks, bite attacks, and slamming the ground. Of course, if we're too far away, it will use Frost Breath to slow down the player, or spawn rows of ice spikes that can slow the player and deal damage. As a high-ranking member of the Snowman family, it, of course, has the ability to throw snowballs. Whether it's the summoning mechanism, model, or animations, this terrifying snowman adds a thrilling challenge to the snowy biome. Upon defeating it, it will drop its hat. Additionally, a special snowball allows us to fire an unlimited number of snowballs. Anyway, if you're interested in its hat, head to the snowy plains and summon it. I'm not sure if you all remember the Alshanex Familiars mod I introduced a few days ago. It recently got a significant update that added more abilities to the Familiars. The Hunter Familiar no longer attacks animals, so your farm is now safe. And upon taming a Hunter Familiar, you can right-click him with an item to utilize his incredible sense of smell to highlight surrounding entities that drop that item. The Mage Familiar now enhances our combat abilities. Upon taming a Mage Familiar, he will channel the power of lightning into you, granting you a charged effect for some time at intervals. The Archmage Familiar now has the ability to transform spell scrolls. Upon taming an Archmage Familiar, you can place a spell scroll in a pedestal that you don't want, and in some time, this Familiar will use all his research knowledge to transform it into a random spell of the same rarity. The Druid Familiar has enhanced his magic of the forest. Upon taming a Druid Familiar, he will use his nature powers to start bone mealing surrounding crops at intervals. The Necromancer Familiar makes the Soul Sand Valley even more chaotic. Upon taming a Necromancer Familiar, he will use his undead knowledge to make all nearby undeads go mad at intervals, causing them to attack each other. The Summoner Familiar now makes it safer for us in the ancient cities. Upon taming a Summoner Familiar, he will deactivate nearby Skulk Shriekers, protecting you from the wrath of the warrior. Anyway, make sure to update the mod promptly. Hey guys, check out that huge dinosaur up ahead. Yup, Threateningly Mobs just dropped a new update with 4 new mobs. Let's dive in and take a look. First up, meet the Terra Dragon. a gigantic quadrupedal dinosaur that roams the nether wastes. Not as ferocious looking as a T-Rex, the Terra Dragon is a neutral creature whose tough armor grants it immunity to ranged projectiles. If we provoke it, it leaps up with its forelimbs and stomps the ground, sending us flying high with 4 beams of light igniting around it. This beast has a ton of health, and during battle, it spews explosive projectiles and uses its tail to whip at us. Anyway, remember to bring some fire-resistant gear, or maybe just admire it from a distance in the nether wastes, and don't disturb it. Next, we have the Ice Fairy, a tiny sprite found in snowy regions. They don't have any attack abilities. They're more of an environmental decoration, aimed at adding a tranquil vibe to the cold areas. Then there's the Cave Hunter, a gigantic spider variant found deep in the overworld caves. They're incredibly fast, making them difficult to target during combat. The good news? They can't poison us. Well, trading venom for a larger body? Wonder if that's evolution or devolution. By the way, if their health gets low, cave hunters try to climb to higher ground to escape. So keep those arrows ready to shoot them down. Last but not least, the coolest and yet the work-in-progress boss, the Hypocritical Saint. Unfortunately, this boss is still in development, and its AI isn't fully functional yet. We can see it's a giant mage wielding a spellbook, and if we try to attack, it just backs away. Looking forward to seeing the full capabilities of this one, bringing us some fresh thrills. Anyway, all 4 new mobs from this update have great models. If you're rocking this awesome mobs mod, make sure to keep it updated. I don't know how many of you are fans of Jujutsu Kaisen, especially fans of Satoru Gojo, but this mod allows us to use a series of techniques from the show, including Gojo's most iconic ability, the combination of Azure and Crimson. Azure represents an infinite attractor force, while Crimson provides an infinite repulsion force. When combined, these forces create a devastating energy black hole that erases nearly everything it contacts, transforming it back to the most fundamental elements of the universe. This technique showcases the ultimate power of the character Gojo Satoru, allowing him to deploy an incredibly powerful and destructive force. In short, this move is really cool. Besides this, the mod includes some other minor skills. If you're interested in trying out this destructive technique, give this mod a try. It's a great way to bring some of the thrilling Jujutsu Kaisen magic into your Minecraft world. If you're in search of some dynamic armor, Armor of the Ages offers some great options. This mod adds 9 sets of armor to Minecraft, each inspired by various mythological tales. Unlike regular armor, these sets feature very detailed animated textures when worn. For instance, you can see a rich display of dynamic particles emerging from the Anubis set, while the aura behind the Paladin set slowly rotates. Each armor set comes with its own unique animation. Anyway, if you're looking for exquisite animated details without compromising on defense, be sure to try out this mod. To all Monster Hunter fans out there, I seem to have stumbled upon a fantastic new mod related to Monster Hunter. This mod adds 18 dinosaurs from the Monster Hunter universe into various Minecraft biomes, each with different variants. Now, during our outdoor adventures, we can encounter these adorable little guys. These little creatures can be tamed. Just feed them some meat and they'll follow you around. Although this mod doesn't include any large monsters, these miniature dinosaurs pay a perfect homage to the famous creatures from Monster Hunter, making them more accessible for us to approach. Whether you're in the desert, the swamp, or the treacherous dark forest, there's always a charming little creature waiting for you that fits the local environment. Anyway, whether you're a fan of Monster Hunter or not, the models and animations of these creatures are impeccably crafted. Make sure to add them to your mod pack to enrich your world. Myths and Legends brings us unique creatures inspired by folklore from around the world, each boasting distinctive abilities and mechanics. The Imp, a devilish creature from the depths of hell, has a bright red body and wields a trident. It resembles a distant cousin of the Vex, trailing flames when it flies. Unlike the Vex, when attacked, an Imp splits into 2 smaller halves, making it a tricky target to hit while airborne. So keep your eyes on it when battling. Possessed Armor is a set of armor possessed by a spirit, known for its high knockback resistance. Despite our aggressive attacks, it steadily approaches us like an immovable force. When it loses half of its health, the armor pieces start falling off. Defeating it allows us to collect armor fragments, which can be used to craft a similar set of armor that grants us increased strength and the same knockback resistance as the possessed armor itself. By day, Gargoyle appears no different from a stone statue, a mere decoration. But at night, it reveals its true nature as a gargoyle, resurrecting with strong knockback abilities. Made of stone, the gargoyle is immune to projectile attacks. Fortunately, it's heavy and moves slowly. Defeating it yields materials for crafting axes and shields. This special axe can emit a shockwave when right-clicked on the ground, knocking back nearby targets to protect its owner. The sole boss of this mod, the Black Charo, is a skeletal mage with necromantic powers, capable of teleportation and frequently summoning skeletons to assist in its attacks. In combat, it teleports to a safe distance and fires explosive skulls as its primary attack method. As its health wanes, it levitates and spins, firing a barrage of skulls that not only cause significant damage, but also have a life-draining effect, replenishing the Black Charo's health. In its dying stages, the Black Charo's attacks can blind us, impairing our vision. All 4 mobs come with impressive models and animations. If your mod pack could use some more intriguing additions, give these a try. They're sure to enrich your gameplay experience. It looks like CravenCraft's Bloody Bits has undergone a significant update. Let's dive into it together. This update has remade all blood spatter textures to be a bit more detailed with different opacities. We can now see that the blood textures splattered from mobs are entirely different from before, appearing closer to real blood textures, making them look more realistic. Additionally, the rate at which these splatters dissipate on the ground has slowed down. Moreover, exploding mobs such as creepers now produce huge blood sprays upon explosion. Even if they are not killed by us but explode on their own, they will burst out more green blood. When facing hordes of creepers, the battlefield now becomes covered in, how should I describe it? Right, a gory green. Lastly, although the blood textures have been adjusted in this update, some of the cool features from before have been retained. The blood still slowly slides down walls and is quickly washed away by rainwater during rainy weather. Anyway, this is a fantastic blood particle mod. If you want to make injuries more interesting, give it a try. Hey guys, in the latest update of Monsters&Girls, adjustments have been made to Crab Girl. Now, if you don't spot them on the beach, you just need to dig in the sand with a pearl shovel, both on the beach and in warm ocean biomes. This way, you can uncover them. You can also feed them pearls, and even without taming them, they'll exchange some burgers with you that can quickly restore health, a great way to get quality food. Additionally, you'll notice that the mod's weapons, Depth Slasher and Deep Digger, are now compatible with better combat. These weapons enhance their combat abilities significantly when wet, so don't forget to bring them along when you're ever adventuring underwater. Anyway, the most important thing is, remember to update the mod. Well, it looks like I've found some really cool new weapons. This mod introduces multiple weapons with unique movesets into the game. Wand of Missiles is a wand that allows us to charge up and unleash a volley of homing magic missiles. The longer we charge, the more missiles we fire. Importantly, its casting won't be interrupted even if we're attacked. Combustion Carbine features 4 skills. Flaming Metal Jacket. After charging, it locks onto a target for a powerful single shot. High damage, but be mindful of the distance as being too close can make it hard to aim. Dragon's Breath unleashes a burst of flame after charging, igniting and knocking back groups of enemies, which is excellent for self-defense against fast attackers. Lights Out. During the charging phase, you can move the camera to select multiple targets. Once fully charged, the Combustion Carbine will automatically fire at them in a rapid sequence, perfect for dealing with elusive flying enemies. Phoenix Cannon delivers the highest damage with the longest cooldown, reaching a shooting distance of up to 96 blocks. After charging, its base damage can kill most vanilla mobs. Hailstorm is a bow that shoots cold arrows. When enchanted, its magical arrows produce a spreading icy aura, making it an excellent weapon for area damage and battlefield control against group targets. Lastly, Battering Ram, if used with better combat, is carried on the shoulder with special attack animations. Whirling Slam allows you to spin the ram and then smash it onto the ground, causing small area damage. Despite its bulky appearance, it handles quite well. Rumble lets you repeatedly smash it into the ground, creating shockwaves that cause area damage around you. While Rumble lasts long and its single-hit damage isn't as high as Whirling Slam, its cumulative power from multiple attacks ensures significant overall damage output. Anyway, all these weapons feature impressive animations and models. If you're looking to add more dynamic elements to the battlefield, this mod is definitely worth a try. Minecraft's inventory interface often feels too monotonous, but the animated inventory mod changes that by adding life and activity right into the inventory screen. This mod introduces 3 types of animated inventories, which you can toggle through the mod menu. You can see animations like a frog catching flying insects, a snowy Christmas theme, and an ancient giant tree theme, each bringing rich and dynamic animations to the inventory interface. These themes can be configured via the mod's installation menu. Anyway, if you're looking for a visually appealing inventory interface, give this neat little mod a try. As you all know, Cracker's Witherstorm mod brought us some top-tier boss battles, and the mod I found for you guys today takes it up a notch. The Wither spawn animation now supports Cracker's Witherstorm mod, enhancing the visuals when a Wither spawns. Check this out. When you set up the Soul Sand and the Wither Skulls on top, they begin to rotate around the central Nether Star. As the rotation speeds up, the elements come together, culminating in a small explosion, and voila, the Wither is born. This animation is also applied to the vanilla Wither, so whether you use it as a standalone mod or as an add-on to Cracker's Witherstorm mod, it's a fantastic choice if you want to add a bit more spectacle to your Wither battles. I wonder how many of you have the magnificent mod Create in your mod pack. This mod introduces a fully original, intricately designed steampunk outfit, complete with a striking helmet that features a built-in chimney. Oh, and if you want to change its color, you can also dye it black with some dye. The gear captures the quintessence of the steampunk aesthetic, merging brass, copper, and iron into a functional and visually stunning ensemble. Anyway, as an addition to any steampunk mod pack, its vintage style is truly dazzling. Some Frogs mod has introduced yet another new frog in this update. And as the spawn egg suggests, it's a bullfrog. Well, it looks like the mod creators have played a bit of a joke on us. This appears to be a frog that looks like a bull. Its head is that of a frog, but it carries the body of a bull. Well, I guess calling it a bullfrog isn't too far off then. Well, it's pretty aggressive and will attack us. Anyway, remember to keep it separate from the cows, or it might get us quite a scare on the farm. Hey guys, let's give this frog an iron block and see what happens. Haha, look at it now. It's driving a tank. This seems to be a joke mod, where giving a frog an iron block equips it with its own tank for self-defense. Look at it firing cannonballs with high knockback power at us. Well, aside from tanks, these frogs also seem to pilot planes and other advanced vehicles. Anyway, for the sake of world peace, be careful with those iron blocks to avoid sparking the next world war. Haha. Hey guys, if you're looking to boost your Minecraft server experience, check out DatHost. Click my unique link to enjoy a 30% discount on your server hosting. Get unlimited slots, easy mod installations, and servers around the globe for optimal performance. Don't miss this exclusive offer to elevate your gameplay.